Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for returning and viewing this video. This video is going to be about One Piece 965, the most recent chapter that's just come out. Now for those that have kind of found my video for the first time, the name of my channel is the Manga Man. I used to be known as Clues, Cues and Reviews. I started re-uploading last week. I started with World Trigger and then Black Clover. There were longer videos because I was doing kind of catch up and I gave my thoughts on the what I've missed basically from the last time I'm uploaded for that series till now. For this week, I will not be doing that with One Piece. There's so much that has happened. I'm sure fans of One Piece who have read the chapters, who are behind, have the opportunity to catch up, and they won't really get as much, I think, out of a long video like that, unless they've got a lot of time, a lot of focus, and a lot of concentration. That being said, let's get into it. So guys, chapter 965. There's been a cover story that's been running for the last couple of weeks and it kind of follows the Gems Pirates, or more accurately, the the Gang Badger's fire tank crew. He's looking for Lola and he ends up on, I believe, Dressrosa, and Jones Pirates are running amok. Essentially, see at the with this cover that he's basically taking care of them, which is a good thing because we can move on. Either have another cover story now, or see how this cover story progresses further. So that's, I guess, how it starts. A nice little start to the chapter. So, the actual chapter from a content point of view kind of jumps a lot time-wise, location-wise. So what I've decided to do is kind of break it down into bits and I guess cut out segments to the points where I found them more sufficient. So the first part I'm going to kind of cover is the initial scene on the ship, on Whitebeard ship, that location, and then I'll cut to Wano and then back to the ship when the time changes. So, location number one. We see a conversation between Toki and Lord Oden, and basically he's asking, where you're from. She knows everything about the seas. So she's quite knowledgeable. She doesn't know where she's from, but she knows her family comes from Wano. Because of the timing, the time jumps, a lot of people have speculated that she is very knowledgeable about the blank century, or maybe she's just come out of the time when the Guma have taken over and the ancient kingdom has been taken down. So she might know something about it, or has heard something about it from someone else. We get to see young Marco. One thing I've actually enjoyed over the last couple of weeks is seeing Whitebeard at that age. I'd love to see him younger, maybe from where he was. If you think about the flashbacks in the Paramount War, the Marineford War, where you see his family growing and he's talking about what he wants, and he doesn't want treasure and he wants a family. You see him, with long hair. He hasn't got his scars and mustache just yet. I'd love to have seen it from there till this point as well. So hopefully in the future we do get that leading up to the end. But what we see him with his crew, we see a lot of members of the crew that are young. Marco, I don't know how I find Marco cute in this, and you see a lot of the younger uh, future commanders, as well as people that have gone and become allied captains. So we see all that going on, and we then kind of have a little time jump in that same setting where Momo is now born. They decide on a name. So we know that Momo was born on this journey on that ship. So he's born at sea. He's practically a pilot already. And then we get this, and sometime later, and then something else happens. So we do get quite the time jump in this. So we know in the second year of his voyage, Oden's son was born, Momonosuke, and then we also know that at that point they had 5 commanders, and Lord Oden is meant to be the second. He makes that same face, like, I'm not interested in this. I don't need responsibility. I want to be free. And this is kind of where I guess he's very similar to Roger, in that he wants to be free and all this, and have fun and all this sort of thing. We'll talk more about Roger later, because the ending, the ending. So later on we get this kind of I guess text box that says, over time we let more people in, and then we see an orphan teach Blackbeard entering the crew. I love how similar this design is to the SPS. So in the SPS we got some designs of a lot of characters when they were younger, and we saw teach being an orphan. And I like to kind of touch on that because the whole thing with the orphans, meaning his parents have been killed or died. Have they been died? Have they died to illness? Have they got killed? I always think that it's probably got some relation to do with Zebek. Maybe he's an uncle. Maybe that's his dad. It's interesting. Some people think he's, Shanks' dad, but it's an interesting kind of tidbit, really, that I wanted to point out, that they specifically said he was an orphan and didn't reveal much about his family. Marshall might be his mother's name, and the D obviously coming from Quebec. That's a theory in itself. We won't get into that right now. So it's cool to see that. So that's, I guess, the first segment, and I'll see you in a bit for the next segment. So we're back in Mano now. Now this section's a bit more grim, and we get to see the dark side of Orochi a little bit, but we also get to see the naivety of Orochi at the same time. So we're back in Wano. Oden's father, Lord Sukiyaki, is that his name? Sukiyaki, is basically on his deathbed, and he wants his son to come back and basically be the next shogun. He's not there because he's on his voyage at this point. And basically, in his stead, he's appointing Orochi. So we get Orochi doing the yeah, I will do, and I'll protect the name, and I'm ready to go down whenever, and then Oden can take over. And that's all well and good for face value. So that shows you his mask that he wears for society, you could say. And basically, then we see other bits where he's talking to what seems to be an old fortune teller, saying you're going to become the shogun, and then he gets told a story about what happened to his family and the birth of Lord Sukiyaki and Orochi's grandfather. We don't get to see Orochi's grandfather so much. We get introduced to all the different characters, and then at that panel where this other character, who doesn't give his name at any point, starts kind of listing all the different daimyos. His face looks like an older version of Blackbeard, when he's doing the Z laugh thing. But anyway, he has the power that Mr. Two has, the Mane fruit. Yeah, the Mane fruit. Sorry, I have to look. The Mane fruit, where he can basically swap faces. Mr. Bonclair's fruit. Now the thing is, what this ultimately means is that this guy has died for Bonclair to get the fruit, because the translation says his fruit, like this becomes his fruit. Now that could just be a translator. I know it doesn't really mean much, but the fact that it's not a copy or anything like that, it's his fruit. Exactly, and not a variation of it, ultimately means this guy has died at some point. That being said, he's basically manipulated Orochi in the story that your grandfather wanted to rule in power, everyone wanted to rule in power, so he come up with this plan to kill the current shogun off. But then Lord Sukiyaki was born, and it kind of fell to poo, and his granddad had to kill himself. Then you get to see little bits of his journey where he's gone to one place, he's lied, he's stolen gold, he's gone to see Oden, he's taken gold on the purpose of a lie to get power. Oden's obviously trusted him, saying, oh, this guy's like my brother, give him a job, and he's made his way up to now basically becoming the shogun. Which is a scary thought, because you do get people like that. So maybe this is a message from Oda saying, that some people will get put in positions, but they're not 100% evil. They're ultimately a bit manipulated, because we don't really know who that person is. We assume he's dead. As far as we know, he's dead, based on the fact that Bentham and Bonclair or Mr. Two has the power now, but that isn't necessarily the case. This could be one of those copy fruit smiles, and the extent of the variation hasn't been identified. But just to keep that out there, we don't really know what's happened with him. I'm assuming he's dead, because Bonclair has the devil fruit now, but we don't know for sure. That being said, that's pretty much Wano. Moving on to the next section. So, the final section. It's hard to really, because when you watch this video, you think, oh, he's very straight face, it's not very exciting. It's hard to show my excitement for this scene. Number one, because we get to see Whitebeard after his death, and number two, we're seeing the Gold D Roger man himself, the king, his crew, all of it is exciting. So to explain, we get told that sometime in this 4-year journey, before or after Teach, we don't know, but yeah, 4 years in this journey, they end up on an island. Now you got to imagine Oden's very excited. He's, adventure, let's go. He's basically a lot like Luffy in that regard. And basically he's running on the island. They're like, wait, second division commander, wait. I don't know what's happened to my camera, but it's focusing issues. Anyway, he's like, wait, second division commander. He's running, and like the animals are going crazy, and like, what's going on this island? I wonder. And then pan, and then you just see like Roger's crew just demolishing the Marines. And you hear Roger basically saying, next time bring Garp or Sengoku, not specifically Garp, either or, maybe both, because it shows that he respects the strength of both of them. Obviously, Garp is his rival, Whitebeard is his rival, but he also respects Sengoku, and I think that's a nice little touch, because we know like they've cornered each other so many times, Garp and Roger, but he also respected Sengoku too. And then we get to see the crew. Now, obviously, the crew is not the biggest crew in the world. There were a select few that had, had some strength. We get to see characters that essentially have been confirmed to be in Roger's crew. So, we get Shanks, we get, obviously, Rayleigh, we also get Crocus, we also get Boogie and Rogers there in the panels. But we also get Scopper Gabon there as well. He's in the back. We get a fishman there. I believe it's a fishman. I like the fact that we get to see those characters. We've not had so much focus on that, but the fact that he's in the panel may allude to something in the future, and it's just this exciting kind of thing. Now, is this going to be a fight? Is this going to be, someone's going to get hurt? There's not much to go off, but ultimately it's an exciting time. Now, at the same time, is this the moment that Oden decides to go with Roger when he sees the difference in philosophies? I think it's quite apparent from both sets of panels that there's a different case of how they deal with things. Like, so for example, there's a section where Oden's talking to Whitebeard about the Marines, saying, why don't we just go kick their ass? And essentially he says, oh, we don't need the hassle, more people will come. Whereas, move to Roger's just demolished a Navy crew. Says, go get your big boys, go get Garp and Sengoku. So there's a difference of philosophy, the difference of attitudes, and I think that's what maybe resonates with Oden and helped him make that decision to go over there. And I'd imagine if he goes, then as we've known from the Zou arc, the Minks will go, and this is maybe where Izo decides to stay on Whitebeard's ship to represent Oden in his stead. But in any case, that is a chapter with what an exciting ending. In the lead up to Christmas, I'm sure there's going to be breaks and all sorts of stuff happening. But when the chapter comes out, I will do my review. As always, thank you very much for checking out my video. For those who got to the end, thank you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Peace.